Good morning, it's Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher. Today is January 29th. It's my oldest son's birthday. Happy birthday, Randy. Although I don't think he watches this channel. This is a channel about cross stitch and crafting, needlework, all the good things. I got my hair cut. We cut some volume out of it. It's not a pixie cut, but it's a little bit different. It's a little more layered, and I call it a sassy cut. Gray sassy hair. Who knew? Anyway, so let's just get going. I have some previous finishes I want to share with you. A WIP that I worked on and a new start. If you've been watching my Instagram, you'll have seen the new start. And today I'm actually in my dining room with my sampler wall. My husband's at the store and the gym, so hopefully he doesn't come home in the middle of it, but he could. Let's be honest, that's the way life works, right? So this is Snooty Parrots by Barbara Anna Designs. This is a Sub Rosa design. I think it's a Christmas one. That's Gia Leger by Reflet de Soie. This is English Garden by Samplers Not Forgotten. And English Cottage Garden by Teresa Wentzler. Rosewood Manor by With a Needle and Thread. Christmas Garden by Blackbird. Heap on the Wood by, I think that's also Brenda Gervais. There's a hole here, right here, because I have one that I'm sending out to be reframed. This is Lantern Lane by Little House Needleworks. The Love of Two Hearts by Long Dog Sampler. That's my wedding sampler that I've done recently. It's not when I got married, but recently. And then that's Autumn's Fruitful Labor by Brenda Gervais. So I have so much framing to get caught up on. My Blackbird Garden Series piece is out to be framed. And it's just, you know, the holidays, people have been encountering illness, all the things, supply issues have sort of slowed that down a little bit. So it's no big deal though. I have all the time in the world and I have several pieces to have framed. So my plan is when I get one back to send one in the mail to have her do the next one or two, which is exciting. Let's talk about some previous finishes. This is by Plum Street Sampler. I don't remember the name. Is it Wilhelmina? I think it might be Wilhelmina. If that's not Wilhelmina, I'll put it across the screen here at the bottom. But this one is so adorable and it just fits perfectly in this little frame. I have this in a little cubby. So I have, where did I get it? I think I got it at Michael's. It's a little cubby that's got maybe 5-inch square holes in it, and I tuck little smalls in there. Wilhelmina, and this is stitched on a white fabric. Looks like it's a 40 count. This is a Blackbird Designs. This is from, I think it's Dear Heart is the name of the pattern book. This is stitched on, not the called for. It's some overdyed that I had, but it's a very close match. It's a little maybe pinkier red than the called for. And it's it has this, I think it's Lady Dot Creates velveteen on the back. And Barb and Alma, when they did it, they used push pins into beads to create the same edging. And I just used a silver bead. I didn't use push pins because I'd have beads everywhere. It wouldn't stay. This is a little needle book, and these are a collection of, I think it's Esampler samplings, and it is by Brenda Gervais. There are some smalls. They're like pretty small, so I put them together to make a little sampler. And I sent this to Feg Rigsby. I said, hey, see what you can do with this. So she made this darling needle roll. Oops, I got it the wrong way. Isn't that gorgeous? And she put a little strawberry in here. I just love this. And this is Blackbird fabric that she used because she's special that way. So I love that one. Here's another one I sent her. This is one that I had made in the, probably the 90s. So it's just another needle roll. She took a sampler that I had finished. It has a couple little beads on it. It's just sweet and springy. And she made a little place to tuck whatever you want in here and just roll it up and then tie it. Isn't that, and that fabric is so pretty. That looks like a Three Sisters fabric. I'm not sure what that is, but that is very pretty. This is By the Garden Gate by Stacy Nash. And who doesn't love a red house, right? The back is a blackbird fabric that I had, and I just ruched a ribbon on top of it, kind of a wonky ribbon style, and then put a couple, one of these gourd pins with some buttons on it. So that's By the Garden Gate. This is available. That pattern is available. And then last from Lila's Studio, this is Be Mine. I made a super foo-foo finishing technique on this. There's a couple layers of lace, so it is ultra foof. And it has my initials, my husband's initials, and on the back is another velveteen. So those are my previous finishes. I'm gonna move these out of the way, hold on. I'm not used to the setup quite as much, so I might do a little reaching, be off camera. Let's see, so last time I was working on, well, I showed you quite a few that I had worked on. I was working on Modern Folk Embroidery. This is Frisian Cross Stitch Sampler number 1. This one is bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's stitched on 36 count vintage fawn by Lakeside. I didn't iron this, so my apologies. And since the last time I was here, I worked this alphabet over. So I'm all the way to the side now in a couple spots. And I just need to sit down and continue to work on this. I was really, really enjoying it. And I started something new, and it was a squirrel moment. So, I moved on to the next thing. But this is stitched with a Silks for You silk. It's their sort of red, brighter red. If you go on their website, it's pretty obvious which one it is. And these letters are so much fun to stitch, but they take a hot minute, let me tell you. I would say I could stitch two, maybe 3 of these in an evening. And I'm not a slow stitcher, but there's just, everything is, you stitch the middle, you stitch the bubbles, you stitch the inside of the bubbles. Then you count, make sure you don't count wrong, right? So that's my update on that one. I didn't work as much on it. My plan was to work on this and then Rose Arbor, my Mirabilia, and try to get them both done this month. Then when I started working on the letters for this sampler, I realized that wasn't going to happen because this took a lot longer than I thought it would. And then I started this new start. So let me just show you this new start here. Hold on. So what am I talking about? Well, I am talking about a sampler from the site EuropeanReproductionSamplers.com, or it's EuropeanReproduction.com. I can't remember if samplers in the name of the website or not. And this is the Forget Me Not sampler, which is so funny because I stitched one of Jacob from Modern Folk Embroidery. One of his samplers was called Forget Me Not as well. What drew me into this one, I've had this one for several years, is that, and I've always intended to stitch it, is that there are a lot of Christian symbols on this. And my hope is, I've started stitching on it, I really would like to pace it out so that I am finishing it and working on the cross about Easter. So the colors on this, I'm stitching it on 46 count parchment by weeks. The threads are DMC. They're almost all DMC. There's 3 anchor. I'll insert a picture of the anchor threads because I had picked those up at Joann's and they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. So I'll show you what they look like here. Aren't those colors? They're so rich and deep. They're beautiful. And the pattern for this comes in a folder. Of kind of, my corners of mine are dinged up because I moved it around my craft room several times. So there are so many. So if you go on that website and start looking, hold on to your wallet. There are so many gorgeous samplers. And the woman's name is Sabina, or Sabine, S-A-B-I-N-A. And I'll put it on the screen here. Her last name is Terrera. It's hyphenated, Terrera something. I can't remember what the last one is. But this is my start on Forget Me Not sampler. I did add fabric to the side of my cross stitch fabric just so I can use it in my Q-snap. And in my last video, I showed you my stitching setup. So, oh, I love this. This will be, I'm going to come up a little bit closer. You can see how rich the DMC look on this peach parchment fabric. It is a pretty good indicator. This is actually pretty close on my screen. But these just are so saturated in color. I love it. We've got these are little forget-me-nots in the border, and we've got these sort of corner motifs, and then the banner, a rose spray, a wreath, a crown, an anchor with a wreath of forget-me-nots. This is the beginning of the next wreath, which is oak leaves and acorns. And there's another side border that's also, it's the same. It's oak leaves and acorns. This is strawberries. Look at these little strawberries. Strawberries and morning glories. And that goes up just a little bit farther. So once I get through here, basically up to about here, it'll be about a quarter done. So this is almost 30 inches long, this design when I'm done. It's really big, it's 660 long, but it's only 200 and something wide, 203, I think. And much of this is in relief, meaning that it's not stitched because you're stitching motifs on it. So it really is progressing pretty quickly, and I love, love, love stitching on it. I just can't tell you, it's so pretty. It's so beautiful. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. So my plans, I have my 10 WIPs and one I already finished, but 10 that I was hoping to work on January, February, March, and April. I will still rotate them in. Now that I've sort of got this established, I'll probably go back and forth between one WIP in that rotation and then this forget-me-not sampler. But I can easily just stop and stitch on nothing but that forget-me-not. No problem. I love it. So those are the WIPs that I've worked on in my new start. What else has been happening? Oh, let me show you. Hold on. I went to an English paper piecing class, and it was with the local quilt store, which is called Shiplap Quilts and Coffee House. They have a little coffee bar with donuts that are delicious in the back, and it's in a little small, cute, quaint town about 10 minutes from me. They have beautiful fabrics, a lot of Riley Blake and Lori Holt. They have the Jane Austen line. They have so much, and they have all the notions and accoutrement and home decor, and man, I love that shop. So anyway, my friend Michaela, who's also a Flosstuber, her channel, I always forget this, it's like So Mama Handmade. I'm going to put it across the bottom here. I had a time out there. My husband came home with groceries, so I helped him unload the car and put groceries away, and he's having a snack and eating upstairs. So anyway, so I think where I was at was that I took a English paper piecing class, and Kayla taught the class. If I didn't link her channel below, I will here. But it was so much fun. Like, oh my gosh, you guys, just down the rabbit hole. We made this little mug rug. I haven't finished mine yet, out of some scraps. There's the little piece that I made, and it goes on this little background fabric. And then this is the back, and the binding will be in this material. And it's not perfect, but it was a lot of fun. And I have another class I'm going to take in February. So I've been working on that, and I have some plans. So let me just tell you what's thrown me down the rabbit hole recently. I picked up this book, Primitive Quilts, and I bought it because I love this. I love, love, love it. And you know, there's enough intricate pieces in here and threads and what have you that I just went on the website and bought the kit. Because I don't want to be messing around with this. If I don't get to this for a while, I don't want to be fishing around trying to find it. But this is the fabrics that are on that piece. It's just gorgeous. The designer is Jerome Thomas Designs. And I think his website is jeromthomasdesigns.com. Beautiful quilt, a beautiful kit, beautiful pattern. I love it. It's wool applique. Beautiful. I also picked up, I almost forgot to go get this, the Punch Needle and Permanent Crafts. This one is full of awesome designs. I probably buy about 2/3 of these magazines. I buy them off the stand because I want to look at them first. I had a ton of previous like magazines from past subscriptions of different types of magazines, not nearly as nice as this one. And I ended up, you know, purging a good part of those, but I'm trying to be more diligent about just picking up the ones I think have projects I'm going to work on. I also picked up, Teresa Kitten Stitcher had a Not a Club kit, which she just posts, and if you don't sign up for her newsletter, you might miss this. So I got this, and it was from my friend Beth Twists. She did this. You Hold the Key to My Heart. I love this, and it comes with a key and a little swivel. No, it comes with a little swivel, and you can put a key on it. I love that. Sweet, that'll be a quick stitch. I got itchy nose here. I also picked up from Luminous Fiber Arts. I'm going to open this up. A couple things. I picked up some 46 count cream by Zweigart linen, and I bought that because there's a particular one that I want to over dye. And this was a good deal. And I wanted something not white to dye on top of. So I got that from Misty. I also picked up from her this design. This is, I think, a new one. This is from last year, BFF Bunnies. Is that not adorable? Adorable. Man, I might have to start this one. See, that's what happens when you make plans, is that it gets blown out of the water. Then I also picked up this Madame Chantilly, like a tiered tray Easter. I'm not sure if I would stitch this as a tiered tray. I'm gonna go this direction so you can see. But I might stitch some smalls, some little pieces of this and make little pillows, or I don't know. Anyway, and then she had these, what does she call these? Christmas in the Kitchen snowflake charms. This is the back side, and then the front has like an enamel look to it. I don't know why I keep leaning. Anyway, so I got that, and then I do have, my recent haul, and you're gonna want to see this, so hold please just a minute. This is gonna be a knitted together video because I didn't have things together. So I watched Brenda and Laura and Brendan the Serial Starter, and then I watched Rachel from Needle and Flax and their Hands Across the Sea parades. And doggone, I haven't bought any Hands Across the Sea recently, not because I don't love them. I just have sort of been like, I'm going to go back at some point and pick up some. Well, I just needed to watch a video, and that took care of that. So I picked one up from, I think it was Teresa Kitten Stitcher. I bought these from her. One was a download. I don't remember what it was. So the first one is Sophia Daggett, which I do love a Quaker. Look at that motif right there in the upper right corner. Oh, dang, I love that. And then, of course, the Rose and the Giant Pear. What would that look like sitting right next to, Gila J. I lost my brain there for a minute. And then this one, when this came out, I about died when it came out. And there's just really no reason for me not to stitch this because I love stitching flowers. And all of this haul that I'm showing you today is pretty much florals. I bought some Blackbird fabric. This I bought off of Etsy. It was 1 yard cuts. I think she has half yard cuts still too. Blackbird design fabric, and they are coming out with a renewed or regenerated line. I think it was maybe slightly different than a prior line, but which is great news. That should be coming out, I think, next month. And then a viewer, I sent her, I shared with her a pattern that I had finished, and she sent me a thank you, Mandy, thank you, and a sweet needle book. So this is what a great idea. you just open it up and it's got your, place to put your needles and little pockets, and it's got this sweet little charm that comes off the bottom. Thank you, Mandy. It's beautiful. It was unexpected and I totally appreciate it. The last thing I got in terms of haul is a antique sample. I bought it off of eBay, and when I saw it, I about died. And when I won the bid for a reasonable amount, I died again. And I showed it on Instagram, and at least 2 stitchers said that they had bid on it. So I know that this was a popular one. This is called Anchu, and the colors just knock me out. Now it has the fading, and it has to do with the material, the dye in that black in the middle. But if you see the rest of this, like look at the tulip, and then above it, and this border, that Adam and Eve. I think Adam looks like Princess Leia. He's sort of got, I don't know, maybe just hair around his ears. I think it's hilarious. I love this. Beth Twist messaged me. She says, when are you going to start reproducing these? And I said, I'm still working. I thought I could do it while I'm working. I just don't think I can. I just have too many demands on my day job. But this, I just can't stand it. It's just so beautiful. Anne Chu, would love to have met her as a stitcher. I don't know how old she was. It doesn't have a date on it. It doesn't have, I'm not sure if it did have a date on it, but if it did, it's been picked out. That is what I have today. This is a super short video, but I've been busy. I had a bag sale since the last video too, a big bag sale, so that took a lot of my time. I have a couple more bag sales coming up too. My goal is to try and cut all of my bags out that I have with existing fabric and to sew as much of that as I can, sell it this year, so I don't have to move it when we sell our house. So we'll see. I keep buying more fabric. I mean, and more stuff. So anyway, hope you have a great week, and we will see you probably in a couple weeks. Take care.